Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, it is Saturday the 19th. It's the last day of my maintenance cycle shift at work. I get 3 days off now on my short weekend, and I get the first day off that I've had in probably about 12 days, so I'm looking forward to this. Now, usually when I'm doing videos, I like to get a little bit of a buffer on videos. I like to have a few videos uploaded and ready to go, so that if something weird goes on and I can't do a video on one day, you know, it's not the end of the world. Unfortunately, this video has kind of pushed the extremes a little bit, and it is 4 o'clock on Saturday, and this video needs to go live in about 4 hours, and that means I need to shoot it, edit it, and upload it. So I'm gonna have to kind of do something kind of quick today to get it done and out of the way, and this is what I have in mind. Now, you know, a few days ago I did a video of the micro wrestling tournament that was in town, and as it turned out, that was shot on Monday, and then I had to actually spend 2 days editing that because I had 2 hours of footage after that, and you know, it just took a long time to get it edited out. So Tuesday and Wednesday were spent editing that video, and then I figured, okay, well, on Thursday we'll do a video, we'll get that uploaded, and we'll be good to go. Well, it turns out that the video I attempted to shoot yesterday didn't quite work out. I ended up hitting a dead end on it and had to kind of pause temporarily and figure out what we're going to do. This is the net result of where we stopped, and we'll catch up with this video when I've figured out how I'm going to address this issue. But for now, what we're going to do is go back over here. You may recall a few weeks ago I planted some blackberry bushes, some raspberry bushes, and also a blueberry bush, which was right here. And if you remember that video, I thought I'd been very careful when I was getting down there and digging around so that I didn't hit that sprinkler line. Well, apparently I did hit the sprinkler line, as you recall, and I had to go in and fix that. And unfortunately, I didn't discover the problem until I turned the sprinklers on that night, and it completely geysered out the whole plant that was in here. And you know, basically I figured at the time had killed the plant. Now it turns out that we didn't actually kill the plant, and I actually ended up putting it in a glass of water, and it's still alive. So we may be able to resuscitate this one and keep this one alive. But in the meantime, I've got another plan. Let me show you what that is. At the time I initially planted the blueberries, several people commented on that video and said if you had two different varieties of blueberries planted in here, they would sort of cross-pollinate, and that would result in a larger yield. And I figured, okay, well, I love blueberries, and since it appeared at the time that I had killed off the blueberry plant with my man-made geyser, I decided to go out and buy two new ones, and these are different varieties, and today what we're going to do is we're going to plant these. And these are the two varieties of blueberries I got. This is called a blue crop blueberry, and this one's called a legacy blueberry. And like I said, they're supposed to be able to cross-pollinate and get a better yield and bigger berries and all that. So you know what? I love blueberries, so that's what we're going to do. So let's get these things in the ground. So this is where I'm going to plant the two blueberry bushes, and they're just going to basically, one of them is going to actually go right into the original hole that the other one was in, and then the other one's going to go right here next to it. Now, you may recall I said that I had two different varieties. I have the blue crop blueberry and the legacy blueberry, and the legacy blueberry is the one that was originally in this location here, the one that got geysered out of the ground. So that's also the legacy blueberry right there. I'm going to put that back in the same hole, and then we're going to put this one in a new hole right next to that. Now, one of the things you got to worry about, of course, is the sprinkler heads, but it turns out I think that the sprinkler lines are very, very, very deep in the ground. And the only reason I hit this one is because there's a kind of a convoluted piece of plumbing that comes up out of the ground on its way up from wherever the sprinkler line is down there. I never actually did get down to the point where it all connects up to to the PVC down there. I just hit the fitting that's rising it up through the ground. So I think I'll be pretty safe here. And also when I dig in this location for this one, I don't think I'll have any problems hitting that. But we are going to be extra careful this time because it's no fun having to repair a sprinkler line. That's a big pain in the neck, especially when it's already buried. So let's get some holes dug and get these things in the ground. Now, we've talked about this before. One of the joys of owning property in Waco is not far underground is a layer of limestone. And we've talked about that before. Turns out Texas was at one point at the bottom of a shallow sea. And so what limestone is, it's basically a single cell and tiny little invertebrates that lived in this shallow sea, and they died, and when they settled to the bottom, they basically got compressed into this limestone. Now, limestone is relatively soft, but it's not very soft when you're trying to dig through it with a shovel. So I'm actually using my digger bar to work my way through it, and I think I got a hole deep enough now. So let's get these things in the ground. Actually, I'm going to dig this hole out. This one should be pretty easy to dig out because, you know, this was excavated just a couple weeks ago by the sprinkler system. So I already did the hard work in this one. Just got to dig it out of the way and put the new plant in there. So let's get this hole dug out here, and we'll be very careful not to hit this thing. And it should be pretty easy to avoid it because I used a slightly different method for getting the sprinkler head into position. So I'm going to dig it in right about here, right next to the head, and that should be a good place for it. Alright, so we got the plants in the ground. Seem to be in good shape. I'm going to give them a good drink right now so that they'll get a good start in life. And hopefully within a couple years we should have some nice blueberries here. Can't wait. I'm also going to run the sprinklers tonight, so they'll get a good drink there too. I'll probably put some bricks or stones around this in order to kind of protect it so I don't end up hitting it with a lawnmower. That would end my berry dreams real quick, wouldn't it? And let's hit this one too a little bit. Funny, I was out here a couple minutes ago when I was digging, and the neighbor's dog was peering at me through the fence and wasn't very happy I was here. That happens from time to time when you're right on the fence line. Dogs don't understand the idea that, hey, you know, he's in his yard, he can do whatever he wants. No, you're too close to my yard and I'm going to bark at you. And I guess while I'm here, I'll hit the other ones too. You remember this one a couple weeks ago? Look at, there's already all sorts of growth going on there. So this one's doing good. This one's the blackberries. So hopefully we'll get something good out of that. Not sure about this one yet. This one doesn't seem to be doing anything, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. That's my raspberry bush. You know, that might just take a little longer to get going, or maybe it didn't make it, but we'll give it a few more weeks and see what happens. But this one's definitely happy and doing its thing, so I want it to keep doing its thing. As I mentioned before, I kind of chose this location because of the amount of sun that the plants will get. You're not noticing it right now because the sun is late in the sky and it's starting to set kind of over there, so it's in the shade of the fence. But up until about noon, it's going to get good full sun all morning, so that should be good. And let's give this one a little drink here too, so it has a chance. If we have to replace that one, we have to replace that one. It happens. So I think that's all that I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Skipping the Mouse. Good night.